Alright, hello, 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 welcome, greetings, hi! My name is Harriet Citadel, Avian Alien Sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos, general maker of things, and we survived the weekend. It has been wild, but we are here, we survived. And it's good to see everyone. Hello, welcome in, Calyx. Hello, is that a Biden? Welcome in. Good to see you. I hope everyone else has had a good weekend as well, and that we are feeling a bit refreshed for the week that's coming ahead. Or if not, at least refreshed, at least, you know, intact. Intact would be a good start. Citrina, hello. I shall be hanging while I do that last hour of my workday. Good luck with the drawing. Thank you. Woohoo! Yay! We shall enjoy casual doodling today. So it's gonna be a little bit of fun. I don't think anyone is surprised. I'm drawing Wilhelm van der Bos again today. Because yesterday he had a new outfit reveal and it looks really good, and I have to draw him. I can't not. It just looks so good. I can't not. Mark me down as the survivor captain. Great. One more soul that has not fallen to the abyss. Well done. Well done on surviving. Woohoo! Yes. So we are in for a nice chill casual day. We're gonna just be doodling. I'm not gonna try and push anything to quote unquote finish. Just casual doodling basically is gonna be the idea for the day. And yeah. Also, I see my eyes are being a little bit weird at the moment. It's probably because of a whole bunch of dummy parameters that I've got now loaded onto my VBridger and VTube Studio. So if you see my pupils are a bit bigger than usual, that's probably why. So yeah, let's put it this way. In the anticipation of needing to do testing for iPhone parameters for things that I do not actually own an iPhone, so I can't actually 100% test iPhone parameters on VTuber models that I'm making for people. So I have to cheat a little bit with my facial tracking, and therefore I've needed to make a whole bunch of dummies, both in my VBridger and in my VTube Studio, just so that I can pilot myself on stream and test the parameters that will work in Live 2D in the week ahead, because we've got a lot of interesting stuff that we've got to plow through still. Speaking of the week ahead, it is gonna be an interesting one. How can I phrase this? I have no idea if it's going to be an ops normal week in my world, or if family issues are going to be a bit wild, because there are some things that are not in a good place at the moment, and yeah, we're just being ready for some of the worst of it, and so it's been a bit wild. It's been a bit wild. But we are gonna... I am going to try and give us some normalcy. But I still need to be on standby for supporting the rest of the family as everything else pans out. Am I okay? Yes, for now I am okay. There's just a family member who is not in a good way. And yeah, we're not exactly sure how much time is left on that particular clock. That's the sad thing, that we're busy doing battle with, but we're going to be just ready and present, and hopefully I don't even know what to hope for in this case. It's just messy and very, very, very sensitive on a lot of levels, and yeah, I can't promise how this week is going to pan out. So we are gonna take it as it comes. Those struggles. I will do my best. Yeah, goodness alone knows I need to be ready for dealing with how I'm going to respond to everything as it pans out when it does, because it's not so much ifs as wins, unfortunately, and yeah, it's not easy, and the circumstances that surround, but we do what we can, and we'd be ready, and I just need to be ready to be there for those of us who are going to get hit harder. So Startoons, hello, hello, welcome in. We are doing well this day. We are a little bit late. We're a little bit late today because I had family over earlier this day, and basically I usually operate on a biphasal sleep cycle. So I usually sleep once between the hours of somewhere between 3 and 9 in the morning, and then a second time somewhere in the afternoon. And yeah, because we had family over visiting from overseas, let's just say that the usual afternoon did not go as usual afternoons go, and I pretty much only woke up from second sleep at about the time I usually am already an hour into my normal stream time, so whoopsie. But it was a very, very, very needed sleep. It was a very, very needed sleep. The last 2 weeks have been chaos, so I am grateful to have rested a bit, and so we're going to be continuing the chill vibes. We're going to be continuing the chill vibes. I'm going to be drawing Volhelm, and it's going to be fun. And you know what? We can actually take this conversation into the canvas. So we got the new outfit open over here, and that's going to be fun. Lots of cool things to doodle with this. I love the full-size wings. If you guys know me, you know that I am a sucker for feathered wings, and yeah, I've been drawing a lot of wings on this channel already, and I'm not gonna stop in a hurry. So if you're getting bored of wings already, I'm sorry. You're gonna get more wings. Oh, glad you spent time. Yes, it was good to reconnect. It was good to reconnect. The family member who was here I've not seen in person in several years because international travel is expensive. So yeah, it was good to touch base again. It was very good to touch base again. But yes. So today's plan is that there is basically no plan. We're just doodling casually for the fun of it. I really want to just kind of devour this outfit a little bit and get it into my brain and just appreciate it, so yes. Ria, did you say you were an avian in the intro? Yes, I did. I think I did. Anyway, I hope so. I hope I did. If I didn't, hi! My name is Haria Citadel, avian alien sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos, and general maker of things. Anyway, I'm going around streams just to because I'm bored, because I want to make people happy. Thank you for visiting Startoons. I appreciate. Joy. Okay. Yes. So I think let's actually just have a quick look at this design, because this is the outfit that was released yesterday. And we got a reference sheet for it, and look at how gorgeous this reference sheet is. Look at how gorgeous this reference sheet is. So much useful information! So much useful information. This is going to make the creative chaos just that much less chaotic, and just that much easier to capture. But if you've been following me socials, you might have noticed that, yeah, there was one thing that was a little bit different, which was that I kind of woke up once again at a ridiculous hour yesterday morning. And so I decided after this debut that happened yesterday, my brain couldn't rest. So I came in and I actually went and traced all of these little details on the coat. All of those little details I traced to make some gorgeous little templates for all of the plumies to use to draw this guy with, because these details are really pretty, but complicated to try and match one-to-one without an appropriate resource. So I did that little thing, yes. But yes, open back outfit, yes. Open back outfit to allow for the wings. It's really cool. What is interesting is this lace detail around the opening on this shirt. There's definitely alchemy magic at play here, because these details would otherwise be sticking in every interesting angle. So it's either alchemy magic or, I don't know, cosplay type, I don't know, one of the two. Keeping that adhered to the skin, but really pretty little details. Also lots of details, but fun. Yeah. So this window is for the wings to actually come out, and it is really nice to actually see a whole bunch of these details in close thing. We finally got actual swatches. Which is really nice. We don't have a full view of the pupils, but with having at least that gradient, we can sort of guesstimate what the actual pupil design or iris design is, which is a bit helpful. Now that I think about it, I don't actually think I've ever seen the top of Wilhelm's irises. Ever. Now that I think about it. I can't actually recall ever seeing the top of Wilhelm's irises. But anyway, owls have big eyes. It's kind of one of their things. So it's not unusual that we would not see everything all the time behind those lids. So that's cool. I'm really loving that we finally got swatches. We can finally see the actual distinction between his hair and skin color. So I have updated my swatches in Clip Studio. So that's really nice to finally have that information captured. Other details, we can finally also get a good proper look at the earrings as well, which is nice to see. We can actually see exactly how the construction on those works, which is cool. You've got a short hair version now, which is really interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to drawing short hair Vol. I'm kind of really looking forward to drawing short hair Vol, which is going to be an interesting change of pace. I'm so used to drawing with long hair now. So figuring out the new shorthand is going to be fun. Ria, yes, Cakes. What's up? Yeah, I'm just kind of just decoding what we're seeing here before we go and dive into the actual doodling, because there are some points that I want to talk about with this design as well. Bill designed it for himself. Harrier Art of Alchemstville, a treat for us. Yes, Natsu! Hello, welcome in. Hello, Natsu. Can I get a quick recap of how you know this person and your history with them? I discovered them on Twitter a couple of days before the Globy Generation 2 debut. And I thought, oh, comfy, arty owl. Follow. And I've been a plumie ever since. I'm a fangirl. Just a little bit, okay? that is the long and the short of it, basically. That is the long of the short of it. Oh, fun. So pretty much I've been a lurking Plumie for a long time. You guys know what my schedule is like and how it's kind of tricky for me to actually get into streams. But I've been a lurking Plumie and a VOD squatting Plumie for a good long while. And it's nice to actually finally feel comfy enough to actually say, okay, we're doing the doodling. We're participating a little bit in community and showing the love and the support in the way that I am capable of doing. I don't have money, but I can throw art at people. Who I think are cool, you know? Just dropping by for a quick hoot on my way to one of my favorite artists. Oh, thank you! It's midnight, I gotta eat soon. I understand, Natsu. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. I hope you rest well when you get to it. And I think, yeah, we're just gonna chill a bit. So, if you fall asleep partway through, I will not blame you. So yes, thank you for dropping by, Natsu. I appreciate it. And yes, there will be a page of doodles when you wake up in the morning. I'm just gonna chill here, very stressed today, but it's okay. Yes. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to join in with me, and we'll be having you here. Oh, thank you, Natsu. Thank you. I've not really, for the longest time, I've not actually felt comfy participating in communities, mostly because I don't really know what. There's always just been hesitance of, okay, if you're not here all the time, how much do you actually qualify? You know, those stupid little invasive, horrible thoughts. But yeah, Vil is one of those people who just makes you feel incredibly welcome, and I think that he is someone who I want to support in the ways that I am capable of supporting. So yeah, and the Plumies so far have been absolute, pardon the pun, gems. You guys have been gems, and it's been really fun to interact with you guys so far, and I'm looking forward to a lot of fun interactions in the future as well. Yes. Good luck with the doodles. Yes, same here, to be honest. Bill and the Plumies are my exception as well. Yeah. And it's just comfy being able to, you know, it is. Wilhelm is just comfy vibes. He's just comfy vibes, and I think it's really nice to actually feel cool. We can just be, and and we could just be in. It's not, you know, pressure. Thanks, want to know. Oh dear. Yeah, no, we're in for chill vibes. I've got the wrong brush. That's part of the issues. Yeah, hold on. One tick. I want this. This one. Yes. So, I think first things first. Let's have a look at basically just getting a little bit used to the new hairstyle. I think that's maybe a good starting point for the day. I also want to kind of get used to actually matching facial proportions a little bit, because I think I've drawn Wilhelm now. 1, 2, 3. I can recall 3 times that I've actually finished drawings with him. And I feel like every time that I've drawn him so far, he's looked a little bit different in terms of facial construction and so on. And I want to kind of get used to actually matching his look a little bit more appropriately. So one thing that we do notice is that he does have a little bit of a softer jawline, so I do want to start getting used to actually incorporating that. And we also get to see, we've known it for a while, but the height of his hairline is, he's got a fairly low hairline as well, relative to his head height, which is an important thing to pay attention to when we're doing facial construction. We can finally see collarbone, so we can actually gauge height of the larynx pretty well now. There we go. So first sketch, I've actually managed to take up quite a bit of the page, so I'm going to just scale that down and just move this over here. And let me throw down another oh, that's a hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage, and let's take a sip. I'm just going to throw down a couple of base poses, and then we can kind of work over them, I think. What I am going to do is I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to make this a little bit more we're just gonna try and give ourselves a little bit more dynamic to work with. Maybe it's because I'm short, but I'm so used to drawing people from an upward angle. It's kind of weird. It's like the most natural thing to kind of look up at people. It's like, I think, okay, I'm drawing a guy. Okay, upward angle, because that's how I perceive them. Is I look up at them. That's what happens when you're kind of armpit height to the majority of males in your vicinity. Oh, it's kind of wild. You kind of just get used to that being the standard height of operation. I actually want to draw him holding his book, I think. Let me just get a gauge here. Yeah, you give off tall person energy though. No, I am small. I am small. I am in the... Okay, depending on how recently I woke up, I am either 159 or 160 centimeters. okay? I'm small. I'm small. Or maybe that's just my perception because I'm surrounded by tall people. The classic rule, all female VTubers are contractually obligated to be shorter. Not wrong there, Si, not wrong there. How much is that in feet? That is about 5'4"-ish? 5'4"-ish, somewhere there? I'm not 100% sure. I'm at least not in the 4-foot club. 5'2"-ish. 2.5. Okay. See, I was almost giving myself more height than I actually have. 5'4"-ish is probably what I am with the heels. Is with the shoes. There we go. That's decent. This is not perfectly average height. Oh, okay. I've never heard the word this. I'm sorry. That's another one that is not in my vocabulary for English. This is decent shorthand. It's almost the same number of characters, though. It's almost the same number of characters, though. It's almost easier to write decent. Less syllables. Yeah. It's literally just the closing off of the word. I don't know I don't know how I feel about that. Below average height where I am? I don't know about other countries. Yeah, I know there are people in my country who are significantly shorter than me. I've got a couple of folk in my country who are in the 4-foot club. But at the same time, there are a couple of folk around where I am who have really tall, really tall genetics. So we've got some folk who are somewhere between 6 and 7 feet. And I am literally armpit height to a whole bunch of people I know IRL. It's like, I'm just so used to looking up at people. Countries seem kinda silly. Why do we bother with arbitrary made-up lines on a map? You see, it's not about the map. That's the wild thing. You see, there's a serious answer to that, and there is the not serious answer to that. The not serious answer to that is, yes, countries are incredibly silly. Their origins are incredibly silly, and so on. But I can understand the purpose of their existence. And simply put, It's because humans are silly. And I think that's where the serious answer starts coming. Humans are silly. Humans are so silly. We are a territorial species. That is unfortunately something that people need to come to terms with, is that humans are a territorial species. Which means that unfortunately there are going to be competitions over resources. And that is the serious answer as to why countries exist, is because of competition over resources. How that has evolved from the days of, no, these are our hunting grounds, no, so these are our hunting grounds. How that has evolved over the very, very long sands of time. The long flowing sands of time. That is a whole nother conversation, which I do not have the energy for at this time of day. And it's actually a very involved and political conversation, which would not really be ideal for on this channel, I don't think. But yeah, we are a territorial species, and it makes writing humans or fiction in fictional settings incredibly predictable because of the territorial nature of our species, or the species. Well, depending on who you ask, species categories. Depending on who you ask, it's a species category. But yeah, depending on the world build, it's a species category. But yeah, sometimes. Wonder what they had in mind during the origins of the United Nations. Probably much grander than what it is now. Not inherently political, I'd say, but too many people see it as inherently political. Yeah. The United Nations, if I'm not mistaken, started out as a trade agreement thing. If I'm not mistaken. But that is definitely a political conversation, which we will not be diving into. I think United Nations was a trade party. A trade agreement thing. Politics. It's all politics. It's all posturing. It's all mad. Anyway. Now, here, I actually want to draw with this particular sketch here with the contracted or the retracted wings. Because then tiny wings also have their charm. The tiny version wings have their charm. Ria, have you experienced the peak that is One Piece? I have started One Piece 4 times to my knowledge. I've started 4 times to my knowledge. And I have not gotten very, very far because every time I start, life happens and then I have to put it down for a while and then I forget. So, I have started it, but I've not gotten particularly far. It's One Piece, sadly. I'm going to have to wait for the remake of the anime before I even try to start it. Anime remake? Far enough to know some world details? The majority of what I know about One Piece I have picked up through social media, weirdly, and other people's fan arts and things. The majority. Like there are a couple of bits that I think are pretty much common knowledge, like MC's stretchy ability that he picked up from eating weird fruit, and general character vibe. But aside from that, I have not actually... I do not know the characters well at all. I have a rough idea of some world building parts, but I don't know the characters particularly well. Okay, I'm getting too involved in that one right now. So I do also want to do is I want to have a look at, let's see what we can do with this back window as well. I feel like I want to see what his plumage would do in terms of how it actually comes out of that window. Okay, there we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Same with this one, I'm going to shrink this one down a bit as well. Just give ourselves a little bit of breathing room with all of these sketches. And I'll come back to what I'm going to do on the other side of the canvas, I think. And because we're not working, should we use this brush? Should we use this brush? Maybe. Let's start up here. Okay. Very basic profile in terms of information that we're giving there. Yeah, we're given very generic profile information. Okay. The height of his mouth and distance between the mouth and nose is a kind of important point. Filipina Flavors, hello, hello, welcome in. Lovely to have you joining us. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos and general maker of things. How are you doing? That's Eve, yes! Hello, hello! Good to see you, Eve. Yes, I recognized Eve immediately, I just didn't want to necessarily do the call out right away. How are you doing, Eve? Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you here. Okay, I'm going to try and ink this relatively quickly. As well. Basically, trying to find a webtoonish shorthand here. For no particular reason other than I feel like until I can draw a character with webtoonish speed, I don't feel like I know how to draw them all the way yet. I'm okay, thanks for designing me. Ah, it's an absolute pleasure, Eve. It's an absolute pleasure. And it was a lot of fun to work on as well. Back when it happened. That was a fun project. Character design projects are generally fun. I told her that her design was quite popular. Yes, it was indeed. It was indeed. I feel like let's just open up again, just because we can. Just because we can. We can have a look quickly. To remind everyone who wasn't here at the time, we did in fact do a character design for Eve, who is joining us over on YouTube side. And this is the final that we came up with for her. This was the final design we came up with for Eve. And yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to this point. Figuring everything out. Getting the details such that it was going to make everyone comfy. It was fun working on this design. Simple but still distinct, I think. And we share the same hair color swatch. We have the same hair colors, at least on the base black hair. So pretty. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to work on this back then. Yeah, nah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time. I do not like where this eyebrow is at all. You. Amazing what happens when you start just tabbing away for a second. I'm just going to hide that because I do not like how that's looking. Now, droopy eyes, or this downward slanted eye, is something that I do need to work on improving in terms of my ability to capture quite significantly. Apparently. Something more like that. I really want to just get a sort of visual shorthand because I don't yet have one, and I don't like that I don't yet have one. Got such very straight eyebrows, wow. Eva's now interacting with streamers, so I figured it would be cool to have you be the first. Oh my word! Awesome! I'm the first? Gasp. Thank you for dropping by and, wow. Oh, the first! I'm feeling very, very flattered by that. But it's good to see you branching out, Eve, and I hope that you have a lot of success with your cooking channel. That angle is not right. And the scale is totally wrong as well. We're looking at least there in terms of scale, which means this needs to go like that and gets redrawn. There we go. It's nice to meet you. I've got to go now, but see you next time. Yes, thank you so much, Eve. It was really nice to meet you too, and I hope that you have a lot of fun and success in your creative journey as well. And I hope that you and Sam continue to have a good time going forward. This looks so cool. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We're just figuring things out first. Getting a little bit of a idea down in terms of how to actually practically approach drawing Phil slightly faster in subsequent iterations and slightly more recognizably and frankly. Consistently. Consistency is kind of important here. Because I'm trying to not fall into same face syndrome with drawing people. Like I'm really trying to not fall into same face syndrome. Which is very, very easy when you've got a more webtoonish style to get into. So getting the distinctions in terms of facial construction in a shorthand is really, really important and useful. Now, based on what I can recall from what I saw in the debut yesterday when he turns his face, the angle of his forehead is not that drastic. He's got a pretty vertical forehead. What can you do to avoid it? When you're looking to avoid your same face syndrome sort of response, what you need to do is you need to look for what landmarks on the person you're drawing you can almost emphasize a little bit. And that's a hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safe consumption beverage and let's take a sip. So you're going to be looking at things like how the eyes are slanted or not slanted, how wide they are, and things like that. The angle of the eyebrows, the shape of the nose. There are a lot of ways that you can kind of adapt. And maybe one day when I can figure out how to do it without making people uncomfortable, we will do a stream at some point where we can actually look at some photos of people and actually see, okay, how can we make these into recognizable caricatures, almost, in anime style. She was shy, but she had a smile when you got excited. Aww. Eva's never really chatted in my own streams, actually. Aww. I'm glad that she could hop in here. It was really, really lovely to see her, and I hope that she can feel comfy to connect with everyone a little bit more. I know it's scary starting out talking with people. Goodness alone knows I struggle with it so much myself. And it's not easy getting going, so I'm just applauding her courage to actually give it a shot, and yeah. I'm rooting for you, Eve. Woo, you can do it. That would be super cool. Yeah. We sort of actually did it with Hype, because he provided photo references as well when we were doing his character design. Hello, welcome in. Gave her a little push, and I think it is a worthwhile push. Just little nudges, little baby steps. But yeah, we sort of did work a little bit of a photo reference with Pessimistic Hype when we were doing his character design, considering that he has been doing a lot of facecam streaming previously, and the entire idea was to basically base his updated design on his actual physical appearance. So we did actually pretty much go and analyze and break that down, so that we could actually draw him and make it look like him. She said that's the way you say thank you is cute. Aww. I'm glad. There's something about me that's cute. Yay! I do not generally feel like a cute person. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't. Me. I struggle with cute vibes sometimes, but if that much at least is cute, then I'm happy. I'm happy. I can roll with my thank yous at least being cute. I'm glad. At the same time, I'm trying to also just keep this in my general style as well. So trying to add the little things that I can. But yeah, we were talking about how to keep out of same place syndrome. So we want to, ideally, when we are doing these analyses and breakdowns, we want to sort of measure how the face is constructed off of our reference and see how we can basically push and pull our construction so that those landmarks land in the right place. I'm glad she finally got to meet you. I'm so glad to have finally got to meet Eve as well. She's been a silent mainstay on the channel actually for so long. It's an absolute joy to actually finally get to meet her and say hi. And now I must wash the dishes. I lurk for a bit while I do. Okay, Sam, good luck with the dishes. Domestic work waits for no man. Sadly. It stares at you from the dish rack and says, "No food until you have sorted this out." That's looking a little bit better. That's looking a little bit closer to the mark. That's looking a little bit closer to the mark. I do the dishes almost every day. It's the least I can do when I get to have Eve's cooking every day. You know what? I can roll over. That is peak supportive family interaction right there. Fair is fair. Yeah, no. Everyone's got their role to play in household maintenance, and it's important to have balance, and everyone's got their little duties around the house. Good listen alone knows that it would be a very, very, very difficult thing to maintain a peaceful household if one person is just a freeloader the whole time. So, you know what? Kudos for keeping things fair. It helps reduce the general household tensions by a significant margin. A lazy husband? I am not. Good. This is not the 1940s anymore. Okay, so, we are gonna now just have a look at, this hair construction. So, I'm gonna just come back to our hairline. If we look over here on our reference, the distance between the brow and the hairline is almost about the same as the distance between the brow and the top of and the bottom of the eye. So it's approximately that same height. So I want to really make sure that that hairline is nice and low over here. And then we're going to adjust our skull shape accordingly. And Tiny Cat, you are now beginning to be let out the room. One moment, please. One moment. Time to get both hands involved later. Yes, go do the thing. Go do the thing. Alright. So that's the sort of measurement that I'm talking about when we're going into helping decode faces for the reduction of that same face syndrome. Is seeing, okay, which distances are how do the proportions interact, and so on and so forth. Here, I can also tell immediately the nose is a little bit long. The nose height on most individuals is approximately from the bridge of the nose to just underneath the bottom of the nose. So from there to there is usually approximately the height of the ear, right? And this feels just a smidge long. Just a little. Not that much. There. That's more balanced. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to reduce that opacity a little bit more. And let's start looking at our haircut. So it is not easy to see from here because we have not got a starboard side view. Of course, I would start with the starboard side view, which we do not actually have a reference here. That is in the head turd. Let me just quickly go to his debut video on the side over here and see if I can grab a screenshot real quick. I know that he turned his head that way, so I should be able to catch a reference with the head turn so that I can see exactly a bit more clearly what this looks like in terms of how it looks with the head turned. I'm anticipating the bangs section of the head is all cut from there. So we do know that we've got that central piece, which isn't actually that long. It comes only down to just under the eyes. And then from here, there's quite a tall vent, basically. That we know of. Actually, no, I'm not going to need the little video on the side. I don't think. I can decode from this much. I'm not. That dependent, surely. I can decode from this, I think. I don't need to have everything spelled out for me. Surely not. Although I do think, when I look at this, that I do need to change the tilt on this ear. I'm going to redraw it in its entirety, because I do think the tilt is wrong. Alright. Now, the part in the hair is on this side. And it's very, very fluffy. Of course, I'm not trying to recreate the reference sheet 100%, which is why I'm trying to do angles here that do not exist on the reference sheet as well. One day is one day I actually want to try and model Bull's hair in 3D, just so that I can get a easier sense of exactly how this is constructed. And how everything will flow. I am very tempted. Very, very, very tempted. I want to get better at modeling hair and clothing in 3D anyway. It's on my wish list of things to get better at. I think this back section is maybe just a little bit too poofy. Just a little bit too poofy. Especially considering how it gets so short so quickly at the back here. Okay, now hairline. And let's make this multiply so that I can actually see through it, what I'm doing. I'm going to definitely need to draw in a lot more before this becomes before this shorthand becomes more instinctive. This one little piece is just so wild on the side here. Something like that, ish. Very much ish. There's a little bit of a twist here. as well, which is interesting. We need to capture. And I'm actually pretty sure that this is going to cover the ear with just how much volume I'm seeing. On this side, I do not actually think we're going to see the ear at all. Because there is no way that this owl is someone who has thin hair. And as someone who has thick hair myself, I know the volume is something that when it decides that it's going to poof, it poofs significantly. Which is why I keep mine tied up the whole time. Because, oh my word. The poofiness is real when it decides to be untamed. There we go. It's gonna be a while still before I feel like I've got this down to an instinctive level of decoding. But we'll get there. And flip it over. So that's probably accurate, but it does not feel right to draw at all. It's probably more accurate, but it does not feel right at all. I don't like that. Let's try that again. That's kind of a little bit of an important detail. That little spot under the eye. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do, is I'm going to do this side next because it's going to be easiest to get used to other features from here. So, once again, we're going to start with the nose because it's a useful starting point for figuring out the general orientation of where the face is pointing. Okay, that's going better. That's going better than last time already. That's working so far. Okay, as far as basic construction goes, that's going a lot better for the start. Joy, hello, hello, happy doodling. Yay, thank you, welcome in. How are you doing, Joy? We're generally getting used to actually drawing Vil fast. That's kind of the idea for tonight, I think, is kind of just getting used to drawing Vil fast. Really building him into the mental library a lot more clearly now. Doing good? Been doodling myself? Yay! Oh, it is actually on a different layer. Okay. Not completely insane yet. Woo! I hope you've been enjoying your doodling, Joy. Yeah, I think. Yep. Why it's always lines like that. Villa's got such soft features, and it feels like I'm always doing him a disservice if I do it too soft. It doesn't feel like me if I've got some sharp lines. Weirdly. Trying to find the balance between sharp lines and still being on brand for the character is an interesting challenge that I need to figure out in terms of my shorthand for Vil. And Vil is getting filed into the mental library as well. Yep. I am trying to figure out shorthand so that I can draw him faster and more consistently, because I think I've only actually finished drawings of him like 3 times. He has that strong Ikemen pointy chin. Yeah, he's got a soft jaw corner. He's got the soft corner of the jaw, But he has definitely got the chin. But I think that also might just be sort of a stylistic standardization, because it's sort of a young sort of feature in anime shorthand to have younger characters have a pointier chin than a slightly older one. It's not like knife edge sharp, if we look at the chin here. But at the same time, it hasn't got that slight square bluntness that is typically associated with slightly older characters as well. And that's the hydrates. Everyone, acquire your nearest safe consumption beverage, and let's take a sip. It goes close, and the point is rounded. Yeah, it's like it gives slightly mature, but still softened. That's the sense I get from how his shorthand is portrayed in his model art. Part of me wants to, at some point, way in the future, maybe, to do a engagement bait-ish sort of thing, where I ask for VTubers to send in their pictures and stuff, and I age them up to like middle age, like not like old, but like just middle aged. '40s, '50s. True, and he doesn't have that baby cheeks that Kodaku does, for example. Yeah, he definitely has. Vol definitely has an elegance, I suppose you could phrase it, to his entire build. Like noble owl, obviously. It's kind of in the job description to have a regalness about character design. That suits him very, very, very well. We'd love to see that. Oh, awesome. I will make a note to definitely do that at some point. As we see a lot of younger appearances with VTubers. But there's no doubt that there are definitely older people in the community as well. Community, industry. Let's just get our terminology right. It's an industry at this point. And I think maybe something like that will also just help maybe ease the idea of, I don't know, Forever 14 that we keep seeing amongst character designs at the moment. Yeah, there's no escaping this. This is, yeah, this is just how I do bangs on this side. It just works every single time. It just works every single time to simplify it like this. the older looking models are a bit few and far between. And I mean, there should be no reason why an older sort of appearance should have any sort of a stigma attached to it, I don't think, personally. Simply because we need to appreciate that, yeah, the internet has existed for a while now. And its users have existed for a while now. Its users that have existed for a while now literally built the place. We should not be weirded out when they also start doing the same sort of cool stuff as the younger generation. And do things like VTubing and make it not feel like we're trying to exclude older people. Because we shouldn't be. And at the same time, a lot of the slightly older looking models I've seen have also been very distinctly old. Like, aged up, like, significantly. But that 30s, 40s, young 50s mid-ground is a significantly missing portion of the visible age group that I've seen amongst current existing models that I've personally seen in my circle. To be honest, as a slightly older person, I often feel like I'm ancient in the VTuber communities and participants. Yeah, I'm still kind of in the bridge of the age groups. Like, I am not spring chicken, but at the same time, I am not fresh out of school either. So I'm sort of in between the two groups. But I can definitely see when people are feeling like, oh my word, 30 is old. Gosh. In various posts all over the show. It's like, guys, you don't know what old is. Your kids haven't existed long enough to figure out what old is. We haven't even gone half a century yet. We're still kids. Critical hit. Yeah. Like, that's just not cool, guys. When last have you actually been outside and realized, oh, hang on, if I actually interact with people who are not in school, most of them that I might actually interact with on a daily basis are going to be over the age of 45. There are some places which you go to, and generally when it comes to community involvement, if you're doing anything that is a community involvement thing in the area where you reside, you can be certain that the people who are running the show are probably going to be between the 50 and 80 age group. Right? These people are still very capable, they're still very involved, and do not disregard them as quote-unquote old. Rhea, do you predate all humanity on this planet? No, I do not. I do not. At least, to my knowledge, I have not been in suspended animation for some centuries. To my knowledge, I have not existed in suspended animation for a period of time. To my knowledge. Someone else might have, but certainly not me. She says as the person who has no memory of before she arrived in Fort Misthaven. There were people here when you arrived? Yes. Yes, there were. I followed them to Fort Misthaven. That's how I figured out where... That's how I kind of got a job. It's like, ooh, there's people over there. Hi! Follow the person. And apparently I followed very enthusiastically and that freaked them out. Hence I got the name Harrier. To pursue with annoying persistence. I freaked the person out a bit badly. I think they thought I was crazy. So, yeah. That's how I got the name Harrier. Because I have no idea what my name was before I arrived in Fort Misthaven. No idea whatsoever. Not my problem. There we go. I did not connect the two dots that Harrier and Harry derived the same meaning? Yeah! Yep, that is how I got my name. I harried someone along. Whoops. But you know what? It's fitting. I am still in pursuit of things with almost annoying persistence. So you know what? It's a name that fits me, and I think it sounds cool. So I will continue with that persistence. I think it's my vibe. It's my vibe. That's so cool. Persist in getting those goals. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And I feel lately like I'm getting a little bit of a fire lit under my tail to really get in gear with some things that I really want to make. And really fully embrace the pursuit of certain things. How exactly I'm going to get that right still takes a little bit of figuring out, but I'm working on it. My major hurdle at the moment is fighting with some writing issues that I need to figure out. But I'll get there. I'll get there. One step at a time. Yeah, exactly, exactly. at the very least, I know that I've mostly figured out how to draw this gem now. Like, that much at least I am familiar enough to not need to think about. There we go. The parts that I can do with shorthand, that is ultra simplification, I want to really make use of. This needs to come down further because I see I made a mistake here. This needs to be angled down as well. Needs to be angled down. The moment when you can draw Vil without any references, that would be the day. Yeah. Yeah. I think do it enough and it'll stick, for sure. I think that is not impossible. It's not impossible. But considering that right now it's literally the first time drawing the outfit, well, we will suffice for. Okay, we're gonna give it some. We're gonna let the references fly a little bit. Just takes practice, lots and lots of practice. Oh dear, well, whatever are we going to do? We're simply going to have to practice. Oh dear, oh dear. The suffering that we will endure to practice. Do you hear the absolute reluctance in my voice for practicing? Do you hear it? It is completely absent. Whatever are we to do? Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, no. And let's just check. Clear view of the hand. That's the best view of the hand. I'm not going to be too pedantic about fingers in this, because why? This is literally just for quickest concept, basically. To be honest, there are still some aspects of the new fit that are pretty similar to the old fit. You can reuse them. Yeah, for sure. There's enough familiarity to carry through. Like I could probably still do the old outfit from, or the original outfit from memory. Calling it old doesn't quite feel right. It's like original. It doesn't feel old. It feels original. For me anyway. It doesn't feel old. I could probably mostly do the original outfit from memory. Probably. The other outfit. Yeah. Other is a good word. Other is a good word. I will test this at some point. How close I can get from memory is that. I will test that theory at some point. We're not going to be pedantic about exactly how that works out. Let's just adjust the gaze so that it actually looks like he's looking at the bottle. There we go. And earring. Now that we know how it's actually constructed, with proper clarity. Just letting that be rough. And let's come over here again to not have any artifacts that I leave behind on that, please and thank you. So we're not going to see, in this particular sketch, we're not going to see the chest belt because of the book that's covering it. Also interesting to note is that pretty much if we look at how the fabric here is being compressed and jutting off the hip here, we can pretty much figure out exactly how where on the torso each belt is resting as well, which is kind of nice to have that information. So pretty much this top belt is on the soft part of the waist between the hip bones and the ribs. If I look at how it's cinching right there, it's literally on the narrowest part. I'm actually going to end this particular sketch at that mark. I have such a nitpicky critique on the new fit, just I miss a pen holder on the book holder. How will you write with finding on the... Interesting, interesting, interesting. It might be. You know, there is an option that is a not visible option. There's an option for where he might keep his pen that's not visible. He might have a breast pocket on the inside of his coat where he keeps his pen. That's what I would have. I would not have an open coat like this and not have a breast pocket, honestly. Like, that is, it is the law. You have to have a breast pocket. Not having a breast pocket should not be allowed. Actually, you're so right. I'm not completely insane, yay! Besides, there are also some smaller sensitive objects that one might need to carry around that would also work for a breast pocket. Like, for example, wallet, maybe? Alchemy license? Light license? You don't want to have that in an open pocket that can get everything fall out every time you try and reach for something else. Yeah, with all those things dangling around the waist, I doubt the pants pockets are accessible and usable. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's a user-friendly pocket to try and reach for. Like, unless he's got some sort of magical pocket dimension somewhere that he can just kind of reach into it and get what he needs to get out of it. The cargo capacity presently is limited. On the other hand, it's a VTuber model. When do artists take functionality into account? I take functionality into account. No, seriously. It's just personal preferences when it comes to character design. Form versus function, basically. Form versus function is something that a lot of people need to balance when it comes to their character designs. and some people think about it harder than others. I like to think about functionality quite extensively when I do my character design. That's just my personal taste. Which is why when we were working on Cheeky Wolf's corset, we spent quite a bit of time as well in the concepting phase, figuring out, okay, we want to keep the lacing detail in the front, not in the back, like what my corset has, for the visual impact of the laces. But at the same time, if you have the laces in the front, you've got to have a second closure, otherwise it's going to take forever to put on in the morning, so you need to have this closure somewhere else. And that sort of troubleshooting was something that we put together there. But it all depends on, okay, use case, and how much you want to disassemble an outfit potentially as well. Like, I've said this on my channel before, and I'll continue to say it going forward after the hydrates, everyone, once you've had your nearest safe consumption beverage, or at least a sip thereof. I will continue speaking, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. When I'm personally doing character design work, one of my rules by which I measure a character design, I want to think, okay, how easy would it be for a cosplayer to make this? And if I was wearing this every day, how much of a pain would it be? Those are the two things that I really want to take into consideration. If I am someone who has got interesting anatomy, can I actually get my limbs through the openings that are available to me? In my humble opinion, it doesn't take that long to lace yourself in. Yeah, it depends on if you have to kind of undo all the laces all the way, or if it's a closed loop lacing as well. Like in Cheeky's case, it's pretty much daily wear, so it's like, do you really want to spend the 10 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes, fiddling with little eyelets, trying to get the point of a ribbon through those eyelets? It's how practical is that when you're woken up at 3 in the morning with cannon fire? You know, as a cosplayer, thank you. It's one of the things that I think out, because I spent some time, and I still do, but previously I spent a lot more time actually looking at cosplayers, and oh my word, hello! Hello, welcome in. Hello, Teo, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. And Mew, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, everyone. Hi. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel VTuber, perpetrator of creative chaos, general maker of things. And it's a joy to have you guys here. Hello. Genevieve, thank you also for the follow. Welcome in. An absolute joy. We did Repo. I saw you were doing Repo. I hope you were having fun. Joshua, hello, handsome individuals. Yes, indeed. Very handsome. We are currently just doing a little bit of casual doodling. Yesterday, this guy had a new outfit reveal. This is Wilhelm van der Bos of Globia's Generation 2 Equinox. And really cool new outfit that he dropped. I love the wings. So we're just doing some casual doodling. I'm getting used to drawing him more because I do want to draw him more in the future as well. So I'm trying to figure out a shorthand for him. And generally get things set in the mental library a little bit. And actually, we caught at a very interesting moment in the production process because I made some things at ridiculous hours of the morning. And we're going to actually apply and use them for, I think, the first time. We're gonna use them for the first time. So, boop. I made some resources to make putting those details in a little bit less chaotic. I hope you guys had fun. Okay. I think that it's almost there. This needs to be up just a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. And now we throw in this trim line here. I'm trying to get used to drawing fast as well, so. This we now rasterize. And cut the excess. Boom. And I just want to nudge a little bit. There we go. Lock that. And I want to go edit, tonal correction, reverse gradient. There we go. Okay. And I want to throw on edge, make it white. Okay. And make that 1. There we go. That works. And just cut off a little bit more there. Okay. 2. 1.5. Can I do 1.5? Can I do 1.5? 1.5. I can do 1.5. Yay. And then edit, turn or correction, and no, convert brightness to opacity. I'm not going to color this one, but at least having that in place makes it look a little bit more done. Having that in place makes it look a little bit more done. There we go, there we go, there we go. Next, we have the lapel detail as well, which is going to behave the same way. I should have actually, before I flatten that and apply things and stuff to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply all of our purses that are going to be in the same sort of trim. And I'm in free to form, which is why it's looking really, really wonky right now. Ah! It's okay, it's okay. I love the embroidery on the lapels. I do not look forward to the hand embroidering them. No. Oof. No, no, no. There is one cosplayer I'm following who I'm very jealous of. This person has an actual embroidery machine, which I can understand why this person has an embroidery machine, because the cosplays that are made are a lot of Genshin Impact cosplays, and we all know how absolutely amazingly detailed those things are. And this thing just kind of makes that incredibly detailed work just that much easier. I can understand in this person's case that it is kind of almost a necessity to have. Because also the cosplay is also this person's business. They do such an amazing job with it. All form, there is no function. Yes. Yeah, Genshin is totally all form, zero function. There is practically nothing in a Genshin Impact outfit design that is visibly functional. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love how they look. I think it looks super cool, but so, so, so impractical. On every level imaginable. Reverse gradient, yes. Outline 1.5 and make it black, okay. And now we clean up the edges like so. And flatten, edit, convert brightness to opacity, there we go. Now it looks like I put in an awful lot more effort than I did. And this is why I made those resources, because it makes everything so much faster and easier. Best 3 hours I spent in the last 48. Anyway. This is gonna come down to just above waist height. About there-ish. About there-ish. Something like that. Let's cut this off. Oh no. Collapse that. I need to see. This is done. There were a lot. Oh, welcome back. I would love an embroidery machine, but I've not convinced myself of the necessity of that purchase. Yeah. Did you vectorize the designs too? They all look so clean. I didn't. I did use the Clip Studio vector brush, but I did not have the guts to actually pull it into Inkscape to make it, you know, just so. I mean, probably could, because then, theoretically, it would be in a format that, okay, if it's in SVG, it's literally ready to plug into something like an embroidery machine. But at the same time, I'm not sure if it would be 80% use case. The 80% rule of use cases kind of not got me convinced that it would be 100% necessary. Now I need to stress test my PC. It went into blue screen of death loop at the beginning of the stream on Thursday and I tinkered with it today. Oh man, I hope that you managed to get it repaired well. Blue screen of death is never fun. Ever. No. Don't know for sure whether I actually fixed it, so I need to test it under the exact same stream conditions. Oh, good luck. Okay. Yeah. You see, this is why I wanted to make these things. It just makes the otherwise somewhat painful process of figuring out detail placement that much easier and faster. It makes it just that much easier and faster. I think that was definitely a worthwhile spend of time. Yeah, then you have covered the full 100% of all use cases. I could probably make the SVGs. I mean, they are on high-resolution PNGs. These resources are on high-resolution PNGs, so if one does take it into Inkscape and just does the default conversion on the edges, which are all pretty clean lines, and all of them are, frankly, also... how can I phrase this? They're all in pure black as well, which means that it should convert pretty easily. There's so much contrast to work with. It should not be something that you're going to have all of the artifacts with. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. But I think I'm going to leave this sketch here for now. Looking at this again, I'm not happy with this top one again, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that point because it is testing. It's not... We're not finishing things here, I don't think. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna shrink it. Just had a moth land on my screen while exactly where I was about to put my pen down. It was slightly disconcerting. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What makes you unhappy about it? I feel like it's lopsided. I feel like it's lopsided. It feels awkward. It feels awkward. And I think most of my problem with it has got to do with the hair. Because it does not feel like I drew it. It doesn't feel like... something I could remember how to assemble. Off I go, wish me luck. Good luck there, Sam. Wishing you strength and persistence and conquest over the blue screen of death. Oh, I know exactly why I was struggling with this so much right now. I know exactly why I was struggling with this so much right now. It's because of a very similar hairstyle on a very dissimilar character. At least on this particular patch, this particular view. I know. Who here knows Lloyd Frontera? That's the problem I was fighting. It's like, okay, it was the disparity between Wilhelm and Lloyd Frontera. That's the problem I was fighting. That was the problem I was fighting. I need to find the balance that feels Vil enough while having the ease of the Lloyd. Oh boy. Thanks, I hope I can beat the scuff factor this time. Wishing you all of the strength. Wishing you all of the strength. Wishing you well and all. Thank you! Thank you, thank you! I need to make this feel like I'm drawing it myself. I need to actually put this into Harrier style. Otherwise, I've got the gist of it, but now I need to Harrierize this. What are you drawing? We are working on some sketches, trying to get used to drawing Wilhelm van der Bos in his new outfit, and generally just getting used to drawing him in general. Yeah, it feels wrong when I'm not got some sharper lines. Did you just invent Harrierizing? I think I did. Give it a more harried look? Yeah. Like, it feels weird to not have some sharper lines in here. And I think that's half of my issue, is that I haven't got some of that shape language that feels kind of me-ish in terms of the art style on the haircut. Like, if I'm drawing someone fast and frequently, then the sort of strokes that I use are going to be fast and in a certain sort of shape language. And I feel like this was deliberately trying to one-to-one on the reference, and it was not feeling me. It was not feeling me. So we're just sharpening this up a little bit. With the other one, the front bangs are a lot softer compared to the back bangs and the side bangs. Yeah. It wasn't there. Yeah. Now, with this sweep that goes down like this, I feel like almost I kind of want to ignore physics a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, it wanted a little bit of that point. It wanted a bit of that pointiness. It felt like it wanted just something. It wanted a something. Sunghoon, we're not going to discuss what time zones people reside in, please. Yep. I'm not happy with the angle here. There we go. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Nope. Not happy with that. Not happy with that either. Doesn't feel narrow enough in the right places. Come on. Let the speed do its job, thank you. Something like that, yeah? Not happy with that placement. Not happy with that placement either. Get rid of everything up until the eyebrows. I like it, he's looking real sharp. Yeah. I feel like when I've got the sharper shape language in, it actually feels like me and my drawings. and he could pull off sharp. He could pull off sharp really well, I think. Like, he's got that general soft energy, but he's got some sharp edges, I think. Well hidden. I know this sounds contradicting, but it's looking sharp in a soft way. That's the trick, is to get pointy things to not look pointy. Wait. Wait a second. I'm sure I'm busy making a mess here. He has got... I can do this. Yay. He has got enough of a corner on the outer quarter of the eye for me to get away with it. I can get away with that. I can get away with that shit. At least in the initial pass. That's looking a lot closer to the mark. That's looking a lot closer to the mark. I'm feeling happier about that. And that's the hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safe consumption beverage. And let's take a sip. I'm feeling so much better about that. I'm feeling so much better about that. It feels so much more confident looking. Why? Because there was actual confidence there. Woohoo! I'm feeling better about that one. I'm feeling better about that one. Okay. Next, let's have a look at this one. I'm just going to pull it down a bit. Give us some space to work. Over here. Going back to your Vulcan pull-off shop, I agree. We could all see in the lore video he could hold his own against evil. Exactly, exactly. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that he has some hidden hard edges that he just chooses to not necessarily put on display for the plumies the whole time. Let us not forget that owls are birds of prey. They are hunters as a starting point. They are not finches that peck on seeds. They are not hummingbirds that just sip on the nectar, you know? They are birds of prey. He is literally a predator. We must not forget this. He has got the potential for attack capability. It's just application. He decides for the plumies that it is not necessary to bear his talons. I think that is something that we can all appreciate. Just a little. Just a little. Also, what I did notice, especially in the original outfit, and which you can sort of see here as well, it's a little bit harder to see with the current silhouette, courtesy the whatchamacallit, wings. But I just want to go and open up the other reference quickly. Yes, I've got it saved because I want to have the references that I use frequently saved. But yeah, if we just go to his original reference sheet, we can see it more clearly as well. Especially over here. He has really broad shoulders. He has really broad shoulders. Which I think a lot of the time that gets missed in official artwork quite significantly. Is that he covers it up. He covers it up, but he is not he is not a weak individual. You do be top heavy, such a swimmer's bull? Yeah. But you know what? Considering that he has got wings that potentially 2 levels of pectoral muscles on top of each other, you know what? I understand. I understand. It's necessary. Also, that additional lung capacity, etc., that goes with that. There is definitely not. How can I phrase this? Inertia in his build. Like, I do not get the sense that this is a person who sits behind his desk all day, every day. There is definitely some more active training behind closed doors. That is such a good explanation. I am glad. I can't remember a single word I just said. I think I'm taking that forgetful burb trope a little bit too heavy right now. I can't remember a single word I just said. Of course he's top heavy. He's got 2 types of muscles to use. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I forgot about that. Yeah. It's not an Avil drawing, but I do know that I have another drawing where I have explored the double layers of pectorals for winged characters. I think it's in here. It's in here. I think it's with. It was in this. Yeah. I was exploring with one of my winged original characters how exactly I would pull off the anatomy in a way that would make sense, because I needed to know how the anatomy works out, and it is not exactly straightforward. But the additional layer of pectorals really does add up. There's a lot of extra mass on a torso that has to accommodate wings. I mean, you've got extra set of pectorals, you've got an extra set of deltoids, you've got all of the other supporting muscles in the back that need to come into play. Here's a 12-pack. No, half of these are actually just the obliques pulling up. But when you're a flyer as well, you've also got to have a strong core, because it's what's going to basically be supporting the majority of your body weight, countering your wing strokes. When you've got physically attached wings, you have to have a strong core. You've also got to have a strong neck, because depending on your anatomy, especially if you're a humanoid, you're going to be angling your head in a very different way when you're in flight from when you are on the ground. So the back of the neck compresses upwards quite a bit, so you get that hyperextension, I suppose, of the jaw, which does mean that especially these upper traps are going to generally be a bit stronger. Ria, do you have double pectorals? No, because my wings are mechanical. My wings are mechanical. They're not actually biological wings. My wings are not biological. My wings are very much mechanical. Come on, switch on, please. Okay, I think I've broken something. I think I broke something. Yeah, I broke something when I was doing my adjustments yesterday. I broke things when I was just doing my adjustments. How do you support the weight? So let's imagine the crick they would have after flying. Yeah. So here's the thing. My wings are basically suspended off of my body using very heavy-duty magnets off of a central control hub. The control hub I can unplug from my spine. Yeah. I've got a plug in my back. I've got a plug in my back. So that means that I can remove the central control hub to do things like, you know, maintenance and cleaning and all of those things, both of myself and the hub. It unplugs, but you don't feel it. You don't feel. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. My control hub is situated. Well, the plug point is situated about there. It's sort of this type of thing on in the middle of my back. That's how it works. And basically, the control hub plugs into that and has a downward lock. We got lore bits? Yeah, we got lore bits. It's something that I've been wanting to add to my reference sheet. So, yeah. Basically, there is a... Based on what I can figure from the user manual and the maintenance manual, there is a control chip in here, an interface chip, which converts nerve signals into stuff that I can use to control and my central control hub for the wings, which also helps and actually sends information to my boots for my tail feather control, which is on my boots. So yeah. Yeah, please refrain from calling it the plug point. Interface socket. We'll call it the interface socket. Almost Evangelion plugs specific room plug suit type business. Yeah, it's an interface point. It's a neural interface point, essentially. You think that could be worked out to control a mech? Yes. Definitely. like, there was literally a line in the user manual that said, disconnect any, and I just need to remember properly because it's been a while since I've read this manual. It literally said, disconnect the surface maneuverability gear control mechanism before interfacing with heavy equipment. I think that pretty much means mechs. Like, I am 90% sure that that means mechs. But once again, I can't exactly remember anything before I woke up in Misthaven. Have I piloted a mech before? I don't know. Could I pilot a mech before? Probably. I could probably. Whether I should or not, I don't know, because yikes, but ish. I guess it's already a neural control port anyway. The actual question is whether the machinery is small enough for one brain to handle the mental load. Yeah, like, it all depends on how the processing operates, and what sort of additional controls are necessary on top of the neural connection port. Whether the neural connection only controls basic movement functionality, and weapon systems and such are controlled manually, then yeah, it all depends on how it all depends on how the interface is put together. I don't 100% know. I read the maintenance manual, but some of it was Greek to me, so frankly, there is a high chance that I was not an engineer in my past life. Before Misthaven, I do not know exactly how things put together. I would probably not be able to fix things without help. So I'm kind of just hoping that I don't break things too badly. I can probably figure out a couple of service level things, but like, if I have any issues with my interface point, I am probably going to need I am probably going to need significant help, and I do not know if there's anyone in Misthaven that is smart enough to do that sort of thing. I do not personally know, but yeah, not my problem yet. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it, right? We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I really hope that I just don't get hit in the back in a hurry. That's what it boils down to. And that's why I'm a sentinel. I'm not a combat class. I am a scouting class. My job is to keep an eye open and make sure that I am out of the line of fire, to make sure I don't take any hits, because as soon as I take a hit, my functionality in the team is significantly compromised. Too bad you can't find any YouTube videos for that. Yeah, I know, right? It's a pain. It's a pain. We do what we can. We do what we can. Now, I want to come over here because with this one, what we wanted to do was we wanted to check our how the feathering would work in these. Zany, I have no idea what I am reading. I've not a cooking clue what I've just read. Which do you like the idea of more? Mecha piloted with tactile controls like a plane, or wants to use full body motion control via Neuralink and or combat suit? I think there is a point to be made for something in the middle. There is something to be made for somewhere in the middle. If movement controls are on the Neuralink, for if it is a humanoid mech, then movement controls for your primary motor movement, your big movements, if that's on Neuralink, that makes sense, because then it's automatic response to get at least the body to move the way you want it to move. But if we are looking at things like weapon systems and so on, that makes sense for it to be on a manual control system of some description, I think. Gundam Eva's painful Neuralink system. Yeah, I can safely say I am not familiar enough with the Gundam lore for this, for that comparison. I wish I were more familiar, but I am unfortunately not. I gotta be careful to not make this plucked. So one thing that I did notice when I was doing a lot of research regarding winged anatomy for my own characters and such is that with a humanoid torso, it makes sense for the wing arm to be approximately, or the upper portion of the wing arm to be approximately the same length as the upper portion of the human arm. In terms of not having your wingtips drag on the ground. In cases of your mid-length to shorter elliptical wings and higher speed type of wings, as soon as we're dealing with soaring types like your seabirds, then sometimes this stretch would be a little bit longer, but proportionally having this bone be approximately the same as the upper arm makes it really easy to make sure that your feathers don't drag against the dirt. It's basically a Neuralink system that allows a pilot to move their mobile suit as if it were their own body. Yeah, yeah. That sort of Neuralink is something that makes sense to me. I just wasn't familiar with the terminology at all. And some, depending on the world build, sometimes the nuances of how some of these things operate is a little bit more clearly defined this way or that. As a non-artist, completely ignorant of anatomy though, really big wings cool. Really big wings cool. Usually when it comes to extending length, doing so on the forearm is a little bit easier. Because also when it comes to how wings are assembled as well, also when I was doing my anatomy studies, the flight feathers that are your primary weight carrying feathers, they tend to actually stop from about the elbow, so they'll poke out like that. Everything here is basically just filling the gap between the primary flight feather and the actual back. Imagine big old wings pulling a Batman trailing along just alive the ground like escape. Oh, that could be funny. That could be funny. Okay, what I do want to do now is I want to undo what I did about moving this thing down a bit because it's too tight to the previous sketches, so pull that up again. And let's scale this down a smidge. There we go. Have you seen a turkey? Is that mean? I have not seen a turkey in South Africa. I will be very honest, and I've not seen a turkey in Misthaven either. I've not seen turkeys around. Now that I think about it, rare bird in this part of the world. Rare bird in this part of the world. Now I just want to confirm that I'm not confusing wing types. Okay. Yeah, I was about to confuse wing types here, so. There we go. There we go. Now, let's see. Now, I don't think there was only one shot in the lore video where we could see a side-on view where we could see the actual wing connection point to his back in the video. There was only one shot where we could see that. And I did not see any evidence of any mantle between the shoulders. Any feather mantle between the shoulders, which means that he has got bare skin in between. Which means figuring out exactly where the feathers start is going to be the interesting thing in this case. Yes, indeed, no feather mantle. It's gonna make this interesting. So how the anatomy needs to work here. We've got a deltoid, which needs to have some sort of mechanical connection point. Okay. There's probably a second scapula here. And that is going to need a muscle that's going to contract like this, on top of the lower traps that are attached to the shoulders. If you were making your character and you had to pick another non-bird animal, what would you pick? There are a lot of good options. Probably, maybe a crocodile or a snake of some description. I have a soft spot for reptiles. Possibly a snake or a crocodile of some description. Or a griffin, maybe. Leopard griffin. That might be interesting. I might do a griffin. But yeah. I could probably roll with anything. It would definitely be a predatory species. I would not pull off bunny. Crocodile is a wild choice. I like it. Yeah. I have a soft spot for crocodiles. And snakes. Never in my life have I seen an anime crocodile though. Oh my. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there must be some female crocodile VTubers. I'm pretty sure I've seen a female crocodile VTuber. I'm pretty sure. But it all depends on the stylization as well, because once again we've spoken about this with people who tend to, when we're doing character designs, tend to go kind of in the cutesy vein when it especially goes with the female characters. I don't know if I could do the cutesy. I certainly wouldn't draw myself ever. if that were the case. Like ever. I'm 90% sure I've seen a female crocodile VTuber. Is also such a shame. I've never liked drawing myself personally. Like, I really get so art blocked when I have to draw myself. It is actually laughable. Like, it just doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, I saw that Eve came in. Yeah, she did drop by. She said hi, introduced herself to everyone. It was really nice having her drop in. It's so cute. It was so nice to finally be able to actually meet her properly. I need to figure out exactly where I'm going to put the feather boundary on this. She's the great, sweetest person I've ever met. Yeah. Why do the lady models often sway cute or sexy? Where am I scaring them away? Lady ladies at? They definitely exist. It's just that they are much, much rarer, both between people who want to present themselves that way and also artists who feel comfortable drawing it. It's got to do with mass appeal as well. And that's a hydro, so everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage, and let's take a sip. Like, I would classify my appearance as being sort of neutral. I would classify my appearance as being sort of neutral as far as the cute, cool, sexy vibe goes. I'm kind of in that triangle. I'm somewhere in the middle. And as far as the weird goes, I've literally visibly only got the pointy ears and the nictitating eyelids. You have not seen my toes. You have not seen my toes. That's why I always wear closed. I only wear closed-toe shoes because yeah, that's no. You're not gonna be seeing that. You know when I said that aliens have a hard time finding shoes that fit? Yeah. It's got to do with that a little bit. Just a little. Yeah. Yes, yeah. You guys are not going to see my feet in a hurry. Sans shoes. Aside from the fact that my boots are important for me actually being able to do my job. Yeah, it's tricksy. It's tricksy anatomy there. There are some models that are less cutesy and more athletic. The two famous ones that pop in my head are Bird and Donothon. Yes, those two are definitely more on the athletic leaning side. I can safely say that I don't want to. Nothing personal, I just don't like feet in general. Neither do I! Neither do I. Why do you also think I avoid showing people feet at every possible opportunity? Aside from the general weirdness that is VTuber people and feet. No. Paws are so much easier to draw as well. Like, paws are so much easier to draw than humanoid-ish feet. Like, human feet are hard enough. Humanoid-ish. Ish. It gets, It gets wild. That is a can of worms we do not need to open. Yes. Yes. I agree wholeheartedly on that front. Human feet are unnerving. Yes! Like, plantigrade feet in general are just chaos. But human feet doubly so. I just draw Mega Man Battle Network shoes. Yeah. Anything where you can kind of simplify the foot into a rough cone of some description, a rough lopsided cone is immediately better. Evidence that evolution works in a quick and dirty way, not the pretty and well thought out way. Oh, more like a rounded rectangle for me. Yeah, you know what? Whatever functionally works. Whatever functionally works. Simplification is kind of great that way. But I'm not the professional artist here. Oh. I don't know, whatever works and whatever suits the styling of the application, really. Speaking of simplification, observe the massive amount of simplification that I'm doing to these feathers as well. Like, you guys know how much I enjoy drawing feathered wings, but even so, sometimes you need to just simplify it down. You probably haven't ever seen characters from Mega Man Battle Network. You would not be wrong. You would not be wrong. I have not. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, having shorthand for just getting the main feather groups in place is really, really useful because it gives you the gist of the wing shape and everything. And all of the major feather splits without needing to break your brains over drawing every single feather. Like, when it comes to the absolute end, you can start splitting it up a little bit just to give it a little bit of that definition. At least I do every now and again. But then you can basically just focus on getting the silhouette in. They were easier for me to draw as a kid. The NetNavi characters are programs and their designs ignore certain irritating things like coding crease. Ah! Well, that's somewhat useful. Anywho, I'm heading out. Thank you for working us through your arting process and giving such good tips. It is an absolute pleasure, and thank you for joining us, Joy. I appreciate you dropping by, and I hope that you had some fun, and I will see you around. Shall see you around. Rest well. I imagine. You said a while ago that you were going to be not sticking around for long, so I hope that you rest well. Hey. Now, let's see. Bottom over here, this bottom section we're gonna have. I've mentioned before, but I tended towards shortcuts and easier things to draw. Yeah, no, but I think everyone does when they're starting out. There comes a point when you need to start challenging yourself if you want to start seeing development and growth. But when you're starting out and you just want to draw for the sake of having fun, then yeah, use your shortcuts. Draw your easier stuff. Draw for the sake of just enjoying drawing. When you're starting out and just having fun with it, go for it. So it was Mega Man Battle Network and Sonic for me a lot of the time. Yeah, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. Okay, on this side, it's this thing again. What's the time? Oh my word, it's almost 3. You know what, I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised by this. We've been having good natter. Okie dokie. Not actually gonna see the ear from this angle because the hair is poofy. And of course I messed up because I had this flipped. I had it flipped, so... Thing is, I actually want to learn proper now, and I have started on pieces recently. I had a big burst of motivation and got stuck on my hands, and I haven't continued since. You know, the hands have a tendency to do that to people. The hands honestly have a tendency to do that to people when you're learning to draw. They are the bane of many an artist's existence. So you are not alone. And he's a character where hands are particularly central. Oh no. And that's an unfortunate thing. Hands, as a rule, are incredibly expressive. So as a learning starting point, if you do studies with the hands as a starting point, and just ignore everything else, so just start looking at doing expressive hands and doing studies of hands. Look at your own hands and in front of your face, try and pose them interestingly, capture them as best you can. That's sort of an exercise. It feels painful and it feels like a slog to really analyze and put it down, but if you can get your hands down first, literally everything else that you draw after that, everyone is going to be impressed by the hands. That's an interesting thing. There are a couple of shortcuts for drawing hands as well, out in the wild. So it's challenges. It's challenges. You know what? I'm gonna do just one more, and then I'm gonna call it a night. I just want to fill up this page. I want to fill up this page, and I want to do something a bit drastic. Also, a little bit inspired by the lore video. If you have not watched the lore video, I strongly encourage you guys to go to Wilhelm van der Bos's channel and go and watch his several lore videos up till now. I think there are 3 of them. It's so good! He's grown so much. So head over to Wilhelm van der Bos, go and throw a sub to his YouTube channel, give him some love. He's doing really well. He is mostly a comfy streamer, so he does a whole bunch of cozy games. A lot of art streams as well. He's really good. He's got monthly art challenges that he does as well. So if you are a creative person and you want to be challenged, you by all means can go and participate. This month the challenge was, I think the feature stream was supposed to be today. I was asleep through it, unfortunately. The theme was Dungeons and Dragons pause challenge type thing. which was kind of cool. But a bunch of other art challenges as well. If you want to participate in any of his previous art challenges, they are still open. So there can be retroactive feature streams as well, but there's absolutely no reason to not just challenge yourself for the sake of challenging yourself. So go have a look. He also does a lot of good language-based content as well, so really, really cool stuff. Definitely worth checking out. What channel is this? This is Wilhelm Vanderboss, the person I've been drawing for the last 3 hours. Yes. Just getting landmarks in place anatomically again as well for this. I'm gonna take this entire thing and shrink it a bit more. There we go. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to get a sort of open palm. Okay, that works. That works in terms of posing, I think. Now what I want to do is I want to just grab this arm and I want to swing it. I want to swing this arm. This way a little bit. Okay. And have a little thingy over here. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Do you need to go sleep here? I've seen the tweets about your 2-hour later alarms. Yeah, soon. I can afford another half hour before I need to go down. But I did manage to catch up sleep today. I managed to catch up sleep quite significantly today. So I'm not in a bad place. I'm not in a bad place. There we go. Try that. Alright, just remember you're not Owl Citadel. No. I may have a history of involvement with owls on various levels. However, I am not I am not all owl. I'm not all owls. I'm not all owls. I am. You do get night owls and you do get day owls. I am making sure that I am just allocating my hours accordingly to what are needed, basically, at this stage. Joy is not here anymore, is she? No. Why do I think Joy is... No, I don't know. Sorry. Assumptions. Funny story regarding Vol and Law. This is a sneaky one that I'm not sharing publicly yet because it's still a work in progress. But funny story. A couple of months ago, this was in May, I started this sketch. In May. And the fact that it was eerily close to what actually happened in the actual Law video, I'm kind of chuffed by. I'm probably not going to ever finish it, but I just thought it was interesting. I am hesitant to show it live while there's a Plumie here, aside from myself, but like, yeah, just a little something. Maybe I'll finish it with the new outfit, maybe a later stage, with now that I'm actually a little bit more used to actually drawing him. But interesting, just a little side thought I had. Turned out to be very similar to the actual Law. I had a funny feeling we were going to get something epic, and I was not disappointed. Kind of glad for that. Well, this pose is probably a little bit closer to... No, I'm gonna stick with the new outfit. I'm gonna stick with the new outfit. If any Plumies spot that in the VOD squad, sorry. I was just not comfy sharing that yet. Like I'd been wanting to finish that sketch for so long, but maybe I'll tidy it up in the future with updated details and art style. I'm not going to be pedantic about this sketch at all. something like that. If this goes well, I might finish this particular sketch later. Maybe, maybe. Let's see. I need to clear that piece. That piece. Now I just want to come over here. There we go. Second belt comes like that. Slowly but certainly, this is coming together. Almost got it. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That is a good, decent collection of sketches. I'm happy with that. For now. We will dribble again another day. We will dribble again another day. I'm a happy verb. I'm a happy verb. For now, I've satisfied my requirement. My absolute personal, deep-seated need to draw the owl in his new outfit. For now. I'm happy. I'm happy. I've gotten used to drawing a bit better. Gotten some sense of shape and everything in place. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm just gonna cut that one. Paste and reduce that opacity to like maybe 30. I don't really want to draw attention to that one. But I'll leave it there because it's evidence that we did experiment a little bit. But yeah, happy. We've gotten some places. I will be putting together my schedule for the week ahead in the morning. What is absolutely going to happen is that on Wednesday we are going to be having a stream where we're going to be doing goal fulfillment for the Donothon that has been ongoing. We're going to be looking at fulfilling the chat makes goals up until this point. So I hope you guys have been getting things together for that that you would like to share. So we're going to be looking at a whole bunch of things. I hope that it won't be a colossal failure. I hope it won't be a colossal failure that no one shows up to. That's now the early morning talking. So everything you're doing is looking good. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yes. So in terms of the Donothon goals that have been filled that are applicable so far, if things change between now and Wednesday, those will also go in there. But let me just make sure that I've got the actual thing open so that I can not lie to you. I want to not lie to you guys. So things that we'll be looking at is obviously going to be our first chat writes the tweet, which is the first thing that we unlocked, but which we have not even looked at yet. That is going to happen as well as the 4-panel comic, the Yonkoma. That is also going to be a thing that we're going to look at on Wednesday as well. And then also picking a voice script that you guys would like me to read as a voice clip that's going to be being put out in the world as a voice clip. It's not going to be behind any paywalls or anything, but yeah. Art good, you make lines well. I appreciate that. You don't need to say more. I'm glad. I am glad you like how it looks. So yeah, if we get more goals between now and Wednesday, I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but if we do, then I will be able to add more to that madness. So yes, we've got a lot still to go with on this. Once again, we do need to look at the viability of this. I am, once again, for anyone who is here new, the Donothon is for a replacement graphics tablet because mine is very, very scratched to pieces. I can hardly see what I'm doing, which is an interesting challenge. And I am currently working with partially fitting nibs in my stylus. And yeah, it's generally near end of life, and I do not know how long this machine or this piece of hardware is still going to be functionally operational. So this Donathon is for replacement hardware so that I can continue to do my job, which is to draw and to stream. I have no other income at the moment, so if you have the ability to donate, I would seriously appreciate it, but also please not to your own detriment. Please do not get into debt or anything for the sake of being able to donate to the Donathon. This is just to enable me to continue to do my day job, because normal commissions do not cover the additional expense at the moment. I still need to build in a little bit of buffer in the bank account so that quiet months over December, January, I can survive those too and not have my insurance policies cancelled out from underneath me because of non-payment. That would be bad. So, I need to be able to pay insurances and I need to be able to pay the bank. Those are the two big ones. If I don't eat that month, then I don't eat that month. But yeah, I need to have buffer in the bank for that quiet period that I know is coming. So if you have the ability to donate, I would seriously appreciate that. If you do not, no hard feelings, but please bring your friends. If you enjoy what I do, please also share the information along. I am currently working on VTuber models for Heoteo, who is here in Twitch chat, and also for Cheeky Wolf. I'm working on VTuber models for both of them at the moment. Those are the two major things in the queue. So we're going to be working on that in the coming streams as well. But yes, on Wednesday we will be having a goal fulfillment on some previously reached goals. If we don't have chat interactivity on that day, please share your ideas and thoughts if you're there. Then we'll be looking at working on the live makes on that day. Sorry, I left out a call from my friend, but I wanted to ask a question. Please just go ahead, ask the question. Go ahead. So yes, that is the thing that is going to be happening on Wednesday. Aside from that, we're going to be doing normal time streams for commission work that needs to happen. And all of this is with the asterisk of if the sky doesn't fall with family side of things, chaos. So, Wednesday, mark your calendars, we're going to be doing goal fulfillment. Also, a great time to bring in people who do not know me from a bar of soap, because that'll add a chaos element. That would be fun. Anyway, so yeah, we did a lot today. I'm happy that we've managed to at least figure out Vil a little bit more closely. I'm happy that we're starting to get a shorthand for drawing him that is working. So I'm happy that we've gotten places. And it didn't take us a whole hour to fill up the page mostly. Yay! With the last sketch. I was going to ask if you would like to be a part of an animation project. Animation is a very long-winded issue. I've done a fair amount of animation for commission work, but unfortunately I do not have the capacity to do anything on that front. But voice acting, it also depends on the project. Okay, it depends on the project. I am very picky about what intellectual properties I interact with. I'm very, very picky about the intellectual properties I interact with. So I would want to have a very, very, very good idea of the scope before I say yes to anything. So you will find my email address, I believe. It should be there. It should be there. It should be there. Let me just doubly check so that I make sure I'm not lying to you. Open a new tab. Yes. Yeah, you'll find my email address in my YouTube channel description if you want to send me more information on that. But I'm not going to say yay or nay straight off the top of my head, because I do not know the scope of your project, and I don't have the scope to do anything that is unpaid. So yes, it all depends on the scope of the project. Will, build, etc. I'm very, 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 very picky. So I won't get involved in just anything. But you can send me the details there, and I will look into it at a later stage. But thank you for inquiring. But yeah. Yeah, I currently don't have the scope to work for free, unfortunately. I'm only 15 and don't have much money and so on. Yeah, then you are going to need to maybe look at having to do. You're going to have to look at doing a casting call on social media where you disclose straight off the bat that it is an unpaid role. You're going to have to do an open casting call in that case, because some of us just don't have the scope to put in a lot of effort into unpaid projects. It's an unfortunate reality that we're dealing with, but I do wish you luck in your search for people who can participate in your project. Thank you for the information and for the luck. Yes, wish you all the best with that. Yes, but yeah, unfortunately, we don't all have the capacity for just getting involved in all of the fun things without any limitations, unfortunately. So yeah, unfortunate, but that is such is the nature of life, the universe, and everything. Unfortunately, the economy is not kind to us. The economy is not kind. And I have already done all of the charity work offline that I could afford to do in recent time. So I'm really on shoestrings and prayers at the moment, to make sure that we survive. So unfortunate, but such is life. Anyway, not the notes to end the day on. I really, really appreciate everyone who has dropped by for this day. I do need to actually wrap up. So, yes. Pending the sky falling, it will be a normal week with a goal fulfillment on Wednesday, but I will keep you updated. It all depends on how things go on the family side of affairs, which is currently a little bit up in the air because of unfortunate health issues with other family members that I need to be mindful of and flexible around. So, yes. I will keep you posted if I will be around this week. It's tentative. It's tentative. The world is mad. Anyway. It was really, really fun having you guys. Thank you for indulging my doodles this day. Feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better. I am still working on writing things. So I've been trying to find the brain juice for working on Misthaven Madness. So that I can actually stop making, lore-based content for you guys that is not strictly stream content, but like actual projects. Like I'd love to actually work on projects, but I need to finish writing first. And it's kind of mad. I'm just not getting to that part of the production process, which is like step 0. So I'm really trying to find the minutes to and the brain juice to throw into a pot and stir on that front, to be able to do cool new things for everyone. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. And I know I've said that a couple of times, but I really want to make I really want to make cool stuff, and I really want to start doing project work in between other things. That is not necessarily commission projects, but actual Misthaven projects. So I need to get writing. I need to get writing, and I'm just not finding the time, and it's frustrating me to no end. But yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. But yeah, fun times. Maybe in the near future I'll be able to draw Misthaven characters more frequently as well, and maybe that'll be cool to see more of too. Is seeing my colleagues in action. my colleagues that don't have voices behind them at the moment. But yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me. Rest well when you get to it. And until next time, thank you so much, everyone. Good night, mistlings, and cheery bye.